Tired of spending countless hours prepping vegetables for your busy kitchen only to end up with inconsistent cuts? Finding the right commercial-grade vegetable processor can completely transform your workflow, saving you serious time and money. Today, I am walking you through the top 7 vegetable processors out there, counting down to the absolute best unit that will revolutionize how you handle produce. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which processor is worth your hard-earned investment, and you might be surprised by the fatal flaw I found in one of the most popular brands on the market. 7. KOBACH KJS331. When I first unboxed the KOBACH, I was immediately drawn to its sleek design and the inclusion of a glass processing bowl, which feels much more hygienic than standard plastic. It is marketed as an electric food processor and grinder, featuring a multi-level blade system designed to tackle everything from soft herbs to tough root vegetables. I started my test by loading it up with quartered onions and bell peppers, eager to see how the motor would handle a standard prep task. The simple push-button operation on top makes it incredibly intuitive to use right out of the box, requiring zero learning curve for kitchen staff. However, as I moved on to testing larger batches of dense vegetables, the reality of this machine quickly became apparent. While the blades are initially very sharp, the motor simply lacks the sustained torque required for true commercial applications. When I attempted to process a 5-pound batch of carrots for a coleslaw base, the machine began to struggle noticeably, and the motor housing grew concerningly hot to the touch after just a few minutes of continuous operation. In a busy restaurant setting, you simply cannot afford to pause your prep work to let your equipment cool down. Furthermore, the design of the multi-tiered blades creates a rather frustrating inconsistency in the final product. Because it operates purely as a button-driven chopper rather than a continuous feed slicer, the vegetables at the bottom of the glass bowl turned to absolute mush, while the pieces at the top remained virtually untouched. I found myself having to constantly stop, remove the motor head, and scrape down the sides with a spatula just to get a somewhat even chop. 6. KitchenAid KFC3516CU. This is a machine that carries the weight of a highly respected brand name in the culinary world. I wanted to test this unit because many small cafe owners and food truck operators gravitate towards it for its incredibly compact footprint and stylish design. It features a simple 2-speed operation with a pause function, and the locking blade mechanism allows you to pour out your processed ingredients without the blade falling out, a small but deeply appreciated design touch. I found it exceptionally good at emulsifying small batches of vinaigrettes and quickly mincing garlic and ginger to a perfect paste. The lid also features a remarkably clever drizzle basin, which allows you to slowly incorporate oils or liquids into the bowl while the machine is running. This makes it an absolute dream for whipping up house-made mayonnaise or pesto in just a few seconds. The stainless steel multi-purpose blade cuts cleanly through soft ingredients, and the entire assembly is dishwasher safe, which is always a massive plus when you are trying to clean down a station at the end of a long shift. Yet, applying the term commercial to this 3.5-cup chopper is a massive stretch, and this became painfully obvious the moment I tried to prep a standard batch of pico de gallo. The capacity is simply microscopic for any serious volume. You can barely fit 2 whole tomatoes into the work bowl at a time. I found myself having to stop, empty the bowl, and reload the machine roughly 10 times just to prep enough salsa for a single table service. This constant starting and stopping completely destroys your prep rhythm and wastes valuable labor time. 5. Hamilton Beach 70725A. Stepping up into a much more capable size category, we reached the Hamilton Beach, a 12-cup processor that genuinely bridges the gap between home use and entry-level commercial prep. The standout feature here, and the first thing I tested, is their stack and snap design. If you've ever wrestled with a food processor lid, trying to find that exact microscopic groove to twist and lock it into place while your hands are covered in olive oil, you will appreciate this. The bowl simply sits on the base, and the lid snaps down with heavy-duty metal locking clips, eliminating the frustrating twisting entirely. During my testing, the large capacity of the 12-cup bowl proved to be a massive upgrade. I was able to load massive quantities of onions, celery, and carrots simultaneously to create a massive batch of mirepoix in mere seconds. The motor feels significantly more robust, powering through dense vegetables without that dreaded burning smell that often accompanies cheaper models. It features a simple dial control that is easy to operate even with wet hands, offering a straightforward approach to high-speed processing. The versatility of this unit is where it really begins to shine for a busy prep cook. It comes equipped with an S-blade for traditional chopping and pureeing, but also features a reversible slicing and shredding disc. I flipped it to the shredding side and pushed a whole block of mozzarella and a head of cabbage through the large big mouth feed tube. It handled both tasks beautifully, producing uniform shreds that are perfect for pizza toppings or massive batches of house coleslaw. The large feed tube is a massive time saver, significantly reducing the amount of pre-cutting you have to do before feeding the machine. 4. WantJoin WZQPJK86001BKUS-WH. The moment you take this machine out of the packaging, you can feel the industrial intent behind its design. It features a heavy-duty, stainless steel construction that immediately tells you it was built to withstand the chaotic, demanding environment of a professional kitchen. I set it up on the stainless steel prep table, and thanks to its substantial weight and rubberized feet, it didn't walk or vibrate an inch, even when processing the toughest ingredients. I put this machine to the ultimate test by running a continuous feed of sweet potatoes and butternut squash, which are notorious for jamming lesser processors. The high-power copper motor didn't even flinch. It powered through the dense root vegetables with astonishing speed, delivering incredibly clean and precise cuts. This level of power is an absolute necessity if you are running a high-volume operation like a cafeteria, a large catering company, or a busy prep commissary. One of the most impressive aspects of the WantJoin is its efficiency in dicing. Dicing by hand is arguably the most labor-intensive prep task in any kitchen. I used this machine to dice a 20-pound bag of potatoes for breakfast hash, a task that would normally take a prep cook a significant amount of time. The WantJoin chewed through the entire bag in a fraction of the time, producing beautifully uniform cubes that ensured even cooking across the board. Beyond its raw processing power, the straightforward design makes it incredibly easy to clean and maintain. In a commercial setting, sanitation is just as important as speed. The stainless steel surfaces wipe down quickly, and the internal components are designed to be easily disassembled and run through a high-temperature commercial dishwasher. 3. Ninja NF701. This is a machine that beautifully marries raw processing power with modern, intelligent technology. Ninja has built a massive reputation for their aggressive blade designs and high-peak wattage motors, and this unit absolutely lives up to that legacy. I was immediately impressed by the modern digital interface, which elevates the user experience far beyond a simple on-off switch. The machine feels incredibly sturdy, and the large capacity bowl is perfect for turning out large volumes of prep in a single go. What truly sets the NF701 apart during testing were the Auto IQ preset programs. Instead of hovering over the machine and guessing how long to pulse your ingredients, you simply select the program for chopping, pureeing, or dough making. The machine automatically uses a tailored sequence of pulsing and continuous processing to achieve the perfect result. I tested the chop setting with a bowl full of rough-cut vegetables for a salsa, and the Auto IQ system delivered a perfectly uniform, rustic chop without turning the bottom layer into an unwanted liquid puree. The versatility here is absolutely top tier. It comes with a massive array of precision processing tools, including dedicated dough blades, standard chopping blades, and high-quality slicing and shredding discs. I swapped in the slicing disc and ran several pounds of radishes and cucumbers through the feed chute. The motor's peak wattage ensures that the disc maintains its high speed even when pushing dense items through, resulting in razor-thin, perfectly clean slices that look like they were done meticulously by hand with a mandolin. Despite all this power, the machine is surprisingly intuitive to assemble and disassemble. The blades lock into place securely, and the lid engages with a satisfying, firm click, triggering the internal safety mechanisms. 2. TERUISI J817. Let me be completely clear, this is not a food processor. It is an industrial vegetable processing beast. When I tested this machine, it completely changed my perspective on what high-volume prep looks like. Constructed almost entirely from heavy-duty cast aluminum and stainless steel, this machine is designed to be the immovable centerpiece of a high-production prep kitchen. It utilizes a continuous feed design, meaning you aren't limited by the size of a processing bowl. You simply place a massive Cambro container under the ejection chute and let the machine work. The output capacity of the J817 is nothing short of staggering. It features two different feed chutes, a large, half-moon hopper for bulky items like whole heads of cabbage, lettuce, and large eggplants, and a smaller cylindrical chute for long, thin vegetables like cucumbers, carrots, and celery. I threw whole cabbages into the large hopper, engaged the heavy-duty pusher, and watched as the machine shredded them into perfectly uniform slow in literally seconds. It processes food as fast as you can physically load it into the machine. Because it is built for relentless, continuous use, the motor is heavily ventilated and engineered to run for hours without thermal overload. During my testing, I processed 50 pounds of mixed vegetables, slicing, dicing, and shredding, and the machine didn't even get warm. The interchangeable cutting discs are massive, razor-sharp, and can be swapped out in seconds to change your cut type. The sheer velocity at which it expels the processed vegetables is a testament to the power of the internal drive system. Safety is paramount with a machine this powerful, and TERUISI clearly prioritized this in their design. 1. TERUISI YY-GJ806. While the previous TERUISI model is a volume monster, the YY-GJ806 takes the #1 spot because it adds a layer of unparalleled precision that completely elevates the culinary possibilities. This commercial vegetable processor features the same rugged industrial-grade stainless steel construction and continuous feed capability, but it introduces an adjustable slicing mechanism that is an absolute game-changer for professional chefs. During my hands-on testing, the adjustable slicing dial was the star of the show. Instead of swapping out multiple different discs to get different thicknesses, this machine allows you to dial in your exact slice thickness on the fly. I was able to transition from cutting thick, hearty tomato slices for burgers directly to shaving pepper-thin, translucent radish slices for an elegant garnish, simply by turning the adjustment knob. The level of control this gives you over your final plate presentation is absolutely phenomenal and saves immense time. The build quality is immaculate, utilizing strictly food-grade materials that resist corrosion from acidic vegetable juices. The industrial-grade motor operates with a smooth, quiet hum that belies its incredible torque. Even when I intentionally tried to bog the motor down by forcefully pushing massive rock-hard jicama and celery root through the chute, the blade speed never wavered. Every single slice was perfectly uniform from top to bottom, with no tapering, tearing, or bruising of the produce. What makes this the #1 choice is how flawlessly it handles delicate ingredients alongside tough ones. Often, Commercial processors will crush softer vegetables like ripe tomatoes or bell peppers, but the YY-GJ806 slices through them with surgical precision, preserving the structural integrity and cellular structure of the food.